Love is patient, love is kind, but love is also courageous. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 through 7. Valentine's Day is more than just flowers. In chocolatettes, it's a legacy of faith, defiance, and devotion. Where did it begin? And why does the name Valentine still echo through history? Let's journey back through time, uncovering the origins of this day from ancient pagan customs to a Christian martyr whose story has endured for centuries. Long before Saint Valentine, the Romans celebrated a festival known as Lupercalia, held from the 13th of February to 15th. It was a fertility festival honoring Lupercus, the god of shepherds, and Faunus, the god of wild nature. During this festival, priests called luperci sacrificed animals and ran through the streets striking women with strips of hide, believing it would bring fertility and ease childbirth. Additionally, young men would draw the names of young women, forming temporary pairings, some of which led to marriage. For many, this connection to an old pagan ritual leads to the claim that Valentine's Day is merely a continuation of these ancient customs. But is that really the case? While history often blends traditions, honoring someone's memory is not the same as worshipping them. Some argue that celebrating Valentine's Day is an act of idolatry, equating it with worship of Saint Valentine. However, in the Bible, we find examples of remembrance that were never considered worship. Jephthah's daughter, Judges chapter 11 verse 39 and 40. After her tragic fate, Israelite women would gather yearly to lament her, but this was not considered worship. Purim, Esther chapter 9 verses 26 to 28. The Jews commemorate their deliverance in the time of Esther, yet they do not worship her. Likewise, honoring the story of a man who stood for love and faith does not mean worshipping him, it means remembering his sacrifice, much like we do for other great figures of history. And so, Valentine's Day took on a new meaning, not as a pagan festival, but as a day to reflect on love in its purest form. In the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was mighty, but cracks were forming. Christianity was spreading, challenging the old pagan gods. Emperor Claudius II, fearing a loss of control, sought to strengthen his armies. He believed that soldiers who married became weak, distracted by their families, and less devoted to war. To solve this, he issued a decree: no soldier shall marry. This left many in despair, for marriage was not just a bond of love, it was a covenant before God. But one man dared to stand against the empire's decree: Valentine, a Christian priest. Believing that love is a divine gift, he continued to secretly perform marriages, blessing couples in the name of God. To remind them of their vows, he gave them parchment hearts, perhaps the earliest Valentine's cards. But such defiance could not remain hidden for long. The emperor discovered Valentine's actions, and the priest was arrested, bound in chains, and thrown into a dark Roman dungeon. Even in captivity, Valentine's mission did not end. The prison warden, Asterius, saw something different in this man's wisdom: peace and an unshakable faith. His blind daughter Julia longed to see the world. So Valentine taught her not just about Rome, but about Christ, the light of the world. And legend tells us that on one fateful day, her sight was restored. Asterius and his family became Christians, but news of this miracle reached the emperor's ears. Summoned before Claudius II, Valentine was given a choice: deny your faith, obey Rome and live, or stand firm and die. With unwavering conviction, Valentine refused. On the 14th of February, he was led to his execution. But before he left, he wrote one final letter to Julia, signing it, "From your Valentine." His sacrifice was not in vain. Over a century later, in 496 AD, Pope Gelasius declared on the 14th of February a day to honor Saint Valentine, a man who understood that true love is not about mere feelings, but about sacrifice, faith, and devotion. Today, Valentine's Day is celebrated with gifts and romance. But the greatest love is not in fleeting emotions. It is found in truth, in faith, in the willingness to stand for what is right, even in the face of death. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for his friends. Paraphrase from John chapter 15 verse 13. So, is Valentine's Day about paganism? About worship? Or is it simply about remembering the power of love and sacrifice? The answer, like love itself, is for each person to discover. What do you think? Should Christians celebrate Valentine's Day, or is its history too complicated to ignore? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. And as always, stay curious, stay faithful, and keep searching for the rhythm of truth. May your heart be filled with love and wisdom this Valentine's Day.